Greetings. I'm Bill Roller. I'm here with Michael Elrath in the upper left and Michael Harding in the bottom center. And it is Friday, the 25th of August. And we're here with the usual Beacon Rock, Keller Williams financial and real estate update. It's been a rather eventful week, or I guess you could say. The big deal, of course, was earnings that came out from NVIDIA on Wednesday after the market closed. Things were rather hyped there. Kind of an interesting day in the market, actually, because if you looked at it in before hours trading on Thursday, everything was up. Things were going great. NVIDIA was going to be up like 9%, and it actually ended the day up about 0.1%. Pardon me. And some of the other things, and so it's kind of been selling off since then. It was off 2.35% today. So the market for the week was basically up a little bit. Like the Dow was up 0.73, the composite was up 0.93. Still got concerns about interest rates. Jerome Powell did a speech from Jackson Hole, Wyoming this morning at 7 a.m. Basically said they're going to stay the course, and interest rates may stay higher a lot longer than people think, and inflation still isn't under control. So we're stuck here in between trading. I guess you could call it sideways market hell for the time being. But we'll see what happens after liquidity comes in after Labor Day. But Michael Elrath, anything interesting that you're seeing here towards the end of the month?
I'm just starting to check and see what's going on with diesel futures. They are up after a fire shut down the Marathon Petroleum Refinery in Garyville, Indiana today. So the U.S.'s third largest oil refinery. Then there was an evacuation of all residents within 2 miles of the plant. Less crude oil being refined for the indefinite future. That means that the diesel futures are up, and I suppose that's the majority of what they refine in that plant, since it's affecting diesel futures.
Huh.
Other than that, I got another interesting article about global warming. This one will catch you by surprise, I think. Researchers at the University of Barcelona in Spain discovered that there are high concentration of fibers from artificial grass made of plastic in the seawater near Spain. The artificial grass accounts for 15% of the larger plastics found in samples within about a half mile of the shoreline, where there's a lot of sea life. So what's that have to do with fish and global warming? Well, first of all, this polyethylene plastic lasts for 15 years. It's difficult to reuse or recycle. But it breaks down and finds its way through water. And birds, whales, fish, turtles, and such mistake it for prey. Their stomachs become lined with it, causing them to suffer from infections, cuts, internal injuries from ingesting this artificial turf. And artificial turf reaches temperatures higher than natural grass, so that could potentially contribute to the warming of the planet. What can we do about it? That put artificial grass in their yards. So I guess I can go post this article on their front doors. And we can also cut down on the pollution by saying no to single-use plastics, straws, coffee cups, coffee cup lids, plastic wrap, bottled water. Although around here we recycle plastic bottles. So those that don't recycle, please. So that's my
environmental information for the day.
Cool. And
Oil, refineries, and plastics in seawater.
well, yeah.
And I covered a lot of bases right there. And I'm good.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. Michael Harding, what's happening in the beautiful land of real estate?
Well, I'm waiting for the impact of the Fed's statements today to see what the impact is on the market and interest rates in particular. One comment that I found interesting that the chairman said was that he's navigating by stars on a cloudy night. I thought that was interesting. So that didn't invoke a swell of confidence in my opinion. But a lot of people, a lot smarter than me, will run with that statement and make lemonade out of lemons. But just he was giving a lot of numbers about or making a lot of comments about the job market, and anyone that's paid attention to us few times we've gotten together, one of my big concern is the job market here locally, because that will be an indicator of the direction of the real estate market, in my opinion, here locally in particular, because we're not heavily dependent on an industry such as Las Vegas is highly dependent upon the tourism market. And I guess Miami to a lesser extent, but those are highly reliant on the industry of tourism. And so Vancouver isn't painted in a corner in that sense that if we have a drop in tourism or pick another industry, then our whole economy is going to collapse. So with that being said, I did find that interesting, that the chairman made that comment, or those comments, I should say, about the job market. One thing he said, what was it that he's trying to get the pre-pandemic levels. Oh my gosh, I would have to listen to it again, but it was just intriguing to me that he was talking about the job market and the impact that the moves that they're making could have an impact on the overall job market. So but with regards to beautiful Clark County, Washington, Bill, you got the spreadsheet?
There you go.
All right, look at that. We had a down week, it looks like across the board. And every aspect except for the very last one, which doesn't really have an impact on anything. I just put it up there for informational purposes. But the new to market, we had a dip of 30 to 139, and the pullback in both the price change, which is a good thing in a sense. But then the pending had a slight pullback, and so it's looking kind of confusing to me, because those numbers should be higher, given that we've had such nice weather, even though it's been a little too hot for me lately, a little too warm. But there's no discouraging elements in terms of weather to prevent folks from going out there looking at houses and making offers and things like that. So to me, that's an indication that the increased interest rates that we've been experiencing lately is starting to have an impact, because we're at the highest levels. Last week I reported that the highest level since 2002, I believe it is. So that could be having an impact on the slowdown in the market. But overall, I think the market is extremely heavy. I'm not heavy, healthy, and we should continue to hover around the same levels and not have a significant pullback of any type, and that's encouraging to me. I just wish the new to market would increase, and so then we can have more pendings and more solds, and just keep the market thriving.
So there's, June is obviously a big month, with people moving. Did you find August to be a heavy one also with kids getting early to try and get the kids in school, or?
Yes, yes. Traditionally, August is from about April, May through August, even some parts of September, or some years September is also highly trafficked in terms of real estate activity. In particular August, because getting that final push to get into the boundary of the school that you want your child to attend. When I'm speaking in terms of parents. They're in the final stretches and trying to get established and get everything relocated before the school year begins. For us, it'll be next week here in Clark County. So it's usually a time of the year that has a lot of transactions in terms of real estate, and that's why it's kind of surprising and alarming, but nothing to panic over long term, because it could be the interest rates are discouraging buyers, because fewer buyers are qualifying at today's prices. Because we've had last week the numbers, the average sold price was 595,755. So that takes a considerable amount of income to qualify for that at today's interest rates. And so that could be the thing that is dragging down the market, but we'll have to wait and see what the long-term impact will be with the slowdown with the new to market, because that's the key indicator to me. That's the important one in my estimation, that is the new to market, because without new stuff coming on the market in terms of inventory, we won't have any of the other portions filled in.
Yeah, I was seeing one figure that said that mortgage rates are the highest in 15 years at this point. So
Now they're going back to 22 years.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and the other thing is that with folks that already have a mortgage at a lower rate, they're reluctant to try to move, because it usually involves getting another mortgage at a higher rate now,
Oh yeah.
and they just can't afford it. So that
Yeah.
was a report that was out in today's media again. It was not the first time.
Yeah. Pay that stuff off. Get those credit cards paid down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't see the wisdom of speaking, with I have a homeowner's cap one right now. I can't see the wisdom of selling your home that you bought 10 years ago, and you may have refinanced it when we had historical low rates, and you're gonna pay a higher price with a higher interest rate that could potentially double your monthly mortgage payment. So I think that's the big indicator, or the big reason why we have such low inventory at this time.
There's ancillary data too that comes into play. The reports that have been coming out are that average American household is now spending over $700 a month more than they were a couple of years ago, just on the same goods and products that they were consuming 2 years ago. And then another report in agriculture has to do with drought and crops. Crop prices go up during times of drought because there's fewer products, and there's a delayed effect on when those increased prices hit the marketplace. It can be 6 months, 8 months. So on top of the 700 a month average increase in household spending needs, now we're looking at an increase coming down the pike in 6 to 9 months for higher food prices again.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to.
Now I got the diesel futures here. They're up about 5% today from that fire at the Marathon refinery in Louisiana. There's some video of it online. It's a nice size fire. That refinery produces almost 600,000 barrels per day. There's a fire in a large naphtha storage tank. It doesn't say how many gallons or barrels that tank holds, but I suppose when you have a fire like that in a refinery, it could engulf more than what the current problem is.
But
So there we are, 5% increase in futures of diesel today.
That's a lot. Any idea how long it'll take them to get the refinery back online?
No, I'm sure they'll have to get the fire out, go in, do an assessment, and then give their best guess on how long it'll take them.
Well, okay. Nothing like keeping the trucking industry happy then. And every other diesel user. Anything else you gentlemen would like to add here?
Not today, Bill, thanks.
Okay,
No,
we'll
nothing for me. Thank you.
keep it short and sweet. There we go. Oh, hang on. Didn't stop